Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to Andrew's Life. I hope everyone's doing great today. We are getting ready to explore Rainsboro, Mississippi, which is located in the southeast region of the state of Mississippi. This is going to be my first official Mississippi video that I'm doing for this channel. And I got a series of videos coming your way from Mississippi, so stay tuned. But today we're going to be exploring Rainsboro. Now, Waynesboro, Mississippi is a small city that is located 22 minutes or 29 miles to Laurel, Mississippi. Which Laurel, Mississippi, the population there is 11,000 people. So in the event that you can't find all of your amenities here in Rainsboro, Laurel will be the next largest city to this one. And if Laurel doesn't have everything you need, whether it be amenities, whether it be a certain type of restaurant that you want to eat, whether it be entertainment, whatever the case might be, the next largest city to that one will be Meridian, Mississippi, which the population in Meridian is 33,551 people, which is located north of here. Laurel, Mississippi is west of here. Forgot to mention that. Now, Meridian, Mississippi is going to be 53 minutes or 52 miles north of here. Meridian will be. And if you're looking for a little bit of, I guess, fun, a little bit of entertainment, you're looking for a little bit of that city atmosphere, Mobile, Alabama is going to only be an hour and a half southeast of here. Which, by the way, will be your closest metro to here. And if you're looking at moving here to Rainsboro for any reason, I mean, the beaches are going to be only a couple of hours away to the south. Like Biloxi, Mississippi is a little less than 2 hours from here. So it's also within a couple of hours of the beaches. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I prefer to live in smaller towns or smaller cities that are no further than an hour from a major metro city. Now, I tried to live in smaller communities that were over an hour from the metro, and for me it didn't work out too well at all. So that's my preference. And with that being said, I will say off the cuff, one of the negatives that I think living in Rainsboro will have is the fact that the closest metro to here is going to be Mobile, Alabama, which is an hour and a half away. Other than that, the biggest city that's within an hour of here is Meridian, Mississippi, which the population is only at 33,000 people. Now, the population of Rainsboro, Mississippi is 4,567 people as of the 2020 census. This city has lost 9.4% of its population. The population as of the 2010 census was at 5,043 people. And the population here peaked in 2000 at 5,197 people. And this city had constant growth from 1890 to 1980. So for 90 years, this city was growing constantly. And then in 2000, that's when things started falling apart in terms of its population loss. The racial demographics here are as followed: 29.9% white, 63.2% black, and 4.5% Hispanic. So for those of you that are looking to move to a smaller town, maybe you're retired, maybe you have an online business, so therefore you don't really have to rely on the local economy. And maybe you're looking for a smaller community that, it's diverse. You're not going to have to worry so much about a bunch of people looking at you a certain way. You're not going to have to worry so much about the city being super backwards. Now, obviously, I'm not from Mississippi, never lived in Mississippi, so I couldn't tell you whether or rather not this city is backwards. All I can do is read off the racial demographics, and then if you want to live here, you'll have to come here and visit yourself, ask whatever questions you feel are appropriate, and just take it from there. But based off of what I've experienced while I was here visiting, I don't think this city is backwards at all. I think it's just a small southern town that's got some diversity. I mean, obviously, it's the majority of the population is black. But anyways, I did stop off and I tried to speak to a couple of locals to see if any of them wanted to be on camera. Because given the fact that I'd never done a video of Mississippi on this channel, and given the fact that Mississippi has such a negative reputation, it gets a whole lot of negative publicity. I was hoping to get somebody who was local to this community that would be willing to go on camera and tell me about Mississippi, rather it be good, rather it be bad, whatever the case. But unfortunately, I was unable to do that. However, the person who I spoke to did tell me that the economy today was primarily lumber. I did get that much information. And speaking of the economy, in 1940, oil was discovered here in Rains County. Now, Waynesboro, Mississippi is in Rains County, and oil was discovered here in 1940, causing the population to double from 1,445 people to 3,442 people by 1950. And like I said, I was told that the economy today primarily consists of timber. Now, upon doing some further research, the largest employers here in town are gonna be Walmart, the Target Distribution Center, Vesta, which is a chemical company, South Central Health System. I'm assuming that's going to be their primary hospital. Marjack Poultry Processing Plant, Hood Lumber, which they're a lumber company, and ODOM, that's ODOM Industries, which is a manufacturing company, and Quality Plywood. I have no idea whether any of these companies currently are hiring or not. If you wanted to inquire on that, feel free to do so. I just wanted to point out some of the largest employers in this city. Now, if you choose to move here and maybe you're of working age, you can't retire right now, you still have to work some type of a job, So if you choose to move here, either as a retiree or you move here, you find you a job and you choose to move here, you want to get a fresh start on life. Maybe you're sick and tired of living up north where it's cold for at least half the year. Maybe you're sick and tired of living in some of these areas to where every other time you turn around, your housing costs are going through the roof, your property taxes are insane, and you got a bunch of political representation that doesn't do crap for you. Maybe you're living in a state like Illinois, maybe you're living in a city like Chicago or some of the neighboring cities, and you're ready to go somewhere where it's warm, you're ready to get a fresh start on life, and you're ready to put that city life behind you. You're ready to put those gray clouds and snow behind you as well. And maybe you don't want to pay the money to move to a state like, let's say, Florida. Or maybe you don't want to pay to move to the Carolinas. You don't want to pay to live in Tennessee, because you don't want to pay to live in Texas, because the cost of living in those states have gotten ungodly expensive. Despite the fact that those states do have a larger economy and they do offer a better infrastructure compared to Mississippi, you're going to also pay a lot more money to live in those other states. And the economy that they have, you'll have to work 2 jobs just to pay your mortgage or your rent. Who wants to do that? I know the hell I don't. That's why I live in Alabama. And of course, Mississippi is located right by Alabama, for those of you that don't know your geography. And I would say that Mississippi's cost of living is actually a tad bit cheaper than Alabama, for the most part. Or it's comparable to Alabama, but I'll say it's probably a tad bit cheaper. Now, I will say, compared to Alabama, Mississippi does have a higher property tax rate compared to Alabama. But as far as the price of a house, I would say it's comparable to Alabama. So with all that being said, if you're looking at moving to Rainsboro, Mississippi, you want to give Mississippi a try, maybe you're like weird and you ain't really trying to listen to all that bibbly blob about how poor Mississippi is and Mississippi ain't this, Mississippi ain't that, blah blah blah. You want to come down here, give Mississippi a try, see for yourself, make your own judgment, think for yourself, as opposed to letting media think for you. So if you're that kind of weirdo like I am, then let me tell you something. The home prices here are going to start at $75,000. I would say to find something that's decent, something that doesn't need a lot of work, in a decent neighborhood, and with a decent sized lot, I would say if you come down here with at least $100,000 to spend on a home, you'll be in good hands. Now, a lot of these houses down here, they do come with at least a third of an acre. I would say for $100,000, however, if you negotiate correctly, you could probably find something on 1 or 2 acres for $100,000. Like right now, there's a house here in town for sale for $98,000, and it comes on 0.72 acres, which is pretty decent for less than $100,000. Now the schools in this city are a C plus, so the schools here are average. And for those of you that are concerned about the crime in the city, well, the crime is as follows. The property crime, now remember, this is per 1,000 people. So for every 1,000 people, 13 people will most likely become a victim of property crime here in Rainsboro. And the most common type of property crime here is going to be theft. Now the average property crime rates, the national average is 19. So according to the data that I've researched, property crime here is a little lower than national average. Now violent crime is, for every 1,000 people, 2 people will most likely become a victim of violent crime. And the most common type of violent crime is assault. And the national average for violent crime is 3.6 people per 1,000 people. So the violent crime here, according to my research, is low. Like I told you guys before, there's always a chance that some of these communities will withhold data for whatever reason. Obviously, I have no way of detecting that. So I'm just working with what I'm working with here. So for those of you that want to come off in the comments talking about, I don't know what I'm talking about, those numbers ain't correct, it's actually way worse. Okay, maybe it is way worse. I don't know. I'm just going off of what I have in front of me as far as my data. So let's keep going. Now, let me tell you how I feel about this city real quick. I told you a little bit how I feel. I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit more for a second. Now, as far as how I feel about this city, I mean, I would say if you're looking to move somewhere and you don't really need to be super close to a metro area, I mean, this city, in my opinion, wouldn't be a bad option. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's better options out here than Rainsboro, but, if you're living, if your income is limited, like you're on SSI or some sort of fixed income, and you're looking to move somewhere warm. Now, there's a lot of people out here that are leaving the United States and they're moving to other countries to chase a lower cost of living and better health care and all that good stuff. But one thing I notice is a lot of people that do leave the country and they move to other countries, they tend to come back here to the United States for one reason or another. So with that being said, for those of you that you're looking for a lower cost of living, but you do not want to leave the United States because you got your family here and the United States is all you know, and a lot like me, you really don't feel like having to learn a whole new culture. You really don't feel like having to learn a whole new language. You don't feel like just uprooting your entire life and moving to a whole nother country that you barely even know. You rather just, go somewhere, be comfortable, not go broke, and for the most part, live a happy life. And I would say if that describes you, come down here to Rainsboro. Check it out for yourself. Like I said at the beginning of the video, ask whatever questions that you feel are appropriate. Now, I'm not going to say Waynesboro is the best small town in Mississippi. I'm pretty sure there's better towns than this one. But I will say this town, in my opinion, is worth at least checking out. Now, like I told you guys before, I personally wouldn't want to live here because it's too far away from the metro. So if I was looking to move to Mississippi, which that would never happen because I like where I'm at here in Alabama. But if I was looking to move to Mississippi, again, I would have to live no further than an hour from the metro. And given that, well, never mind. So anyways, I'm going to go over the niche and I'm going to read off a few comments. Well, not comments, but I'm going to read off some reviews of what other people, many of which who have lived in Rainsboro or currently live in Waynesboro, think about. So, okay, out of 12 reviews, Waynesboro has a 3 out of a 5-star rating. And 2 people rated this city as excellent. 3 people rated it very good. 2 average, 2 poor, 3 terrible. I'm going to start off by reading the excellent ratings, and then I'm going to go all the way down to terrible. That's typically how I do it whenever I make these kind of videos. Alrighty, let's see. That's a long one. Alright, now this review was a 5-star review. It was from July of 2022. A small town with lots of love and southern accents. It has a great public school and private school. It is also surrounded by water to where family and friends can meet and do fun activities. There is a good amount of shopping and small businesses that we support in Rainsboro. Let's see, I lost my place here. There is a very strong church community here and a generous amount of good people that will do anything for anybody. We have a great steakhouse that is for fine dining that is locally owned. We also have the Huff, Richie's, and Shishi's that is locally owned and that we all support on a daily basis. I'm assuming those are all restaurants. We have a great variety of snow cone stands that we love that opens every year in the summer. We are known for Mississippi fried and coulee burgers. Rainsboro, Mississippi is a town in the middle of nowhere, but has some great schools, food, nature, and very good people that support each other and help each other. You can always have a town, but it's the people in the town build it. It's the people in that town that build it up and make it stay alive for us. Okay, let's see what else. Here's another 5-star statement. This one is a little older. It was written January of 2017. I have lived in Rainsboro, Mississippi going on 15 years now. It is a rather small town, but the people are friendly. I worked for the Herbert Ramey, who owns the local grocery store, a business that his father started years ago. Mr. Ramey buys local products from farmers and advertises them in his store. You couldn't ask for a better person to know and to work for. I would have to say that the prettiest part of Rainsboro would have to be on the few creeks that run through the area. There are several stores to shop from, including Walmart. Most everyone knows everyone. Man, I think I'm having some allergies here. Alrighty, I got some 4 stars I'm going to read. This one was written in January of 2020. I love this town because I go to school here and it's where I hang out with all my friends. It's my home away from home. Okay, that's a younger person. This one was written in September of 2017. It's another 4-star. I was raised in Rainsboro, Mississippi. It's a small town, and so everyone pretty much knows of mostly everyone else. That can be good or bad. I'm a country girl, so Rainsboro made me that way, and it fits. The city has changed over the years, So not sure how I feel about that. I no longer live there, but I visit every so often. It has become more violent than wanted or expected. But overall, if you pretty much keep to your own circle, it's a good place to be. Okay. I'm going to read a couple of reviews that are 3 stars, which is average. The first one was written April of 2020. It is a small town with a big heart. There isn't much to do, but if you like the slow pace of living, Rainsboro is definitely for you. Here's the other 3-star review, which is written in July of 2017. Rainsboro is a small town where everyone knows everyone. It mainly is religious and people get along well. Okay. I'm gonna read a couple of reviews that are poor. It's a 2-star. They're 2-star reviews. This first one is gonna be a long one, so brace yourself. This review was written June of 2022. Affordable. That's about it. I grew up here and still have family here. I actively avoid visiting the town. The people will do the stereotypical Southern thing of acting nice on the surface for a few visitors they see, but most are actually a combination of ignorant and miserable, and will take it out on anyone different than them. There was a infamous case of a hate crime against someone believed to be, I can't say the word, so believed to be in a Rainbow Coalition here in 2019, in which he was beaten by multiple people. Most folks who moved out of Rainsboro never came back. It's not just old people here. Clara, the town down the road, doesn't have its own high school. Clara has a reputation akin to Texas sundown town. Except I've never been the sun stop. Okay, hold up here. Except I've never seen the sun stop their racism. Okay. The kids raised in that environment enter the county high school in Rainsboro, mostly to indoctrinate to ever save. You will meet racist children here. And just so you all understand, I am reading these reviews word for word for verbatim, just so you know. Okay, and they go and they continue on and they say the jobs here are not that good. The school system's falling apart. And basically this is a crappy town to visit. And clearly they do not encourage you to move here. And the cost of living here is cheap for a reason. Okay, now this other review is another 2-star written February of 2019. Most people who live in Waynesboro never leave. They think it's great because all they have seen is Lowell, which, like I told you at the beginning of the video, that city's got 11,000 people, and it's about a half hour from here. They think Lowell is a city. Rainsboro is very religious and judges on religion. I do like the people, but they have a chip on their shoulder about the town. They know it's a S-hole but defended. No jobs, public schools is turning for the worse, and no outside visitors. Okay, I'm gonna read some one-star reviews. This first one was written June of 2022. A one-star review. There is nothing in Rainsboro to attract people. Just about everyone who lives here was born here and is too impoverished to move. This next one-star review was written January of 2021. There is nothing good about Waynesboro, Mississippi. There isn't anything around to do, and there aren't any opportunities to be found. The town suffers from brain drain and a general lack of good education. The infrastructure is outdated and the roads are breaking up. The only reason it ranks high in commute time is because it's so small. It only takes 30 minutes to go from one end to the other. All in all, a worthless little town. And this next statement is another one-star. This review was written in February of 2020. I've lived here my entire life. The town itself has done nothing but go down. Everything is owned by pretty much the same people. Those very same people are the ones who run the town. Our police department is full of corrupt perverts. Good luck getting a job here if you don't personally know the right people. Our schools could be so much better. Gang violence has been tormenting the citizens and no one feels safe. Drugs are huge, and they put huge in all capital case letters. Most of Rainsboro is walking around high. Okay, a lot of drug issues here. Everything here is a contest. Folks are small-minded boomers with no real thoughts of their own. They're racist and sexist and are the ones that control what happens in our little town. Good luck getting out. Okay. Alright, folks. That's gonna do it for the reviews for this video. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. Like I told you guys earlier in the video, I'm not claiming this is the best town in Mississippi. It definitely isn't. Just saying, for places to check out for more affordable living, for those of you who are living in more expensive places in the country, put this town on your list. You might come here and like it, you might come here and not like it. So I would love for you guys to stick around and watch the remaining 6 minutes of the video. And on that note, stay blessed. I'll catch you guys on the next one.